I was released from prison May 17, 2022. This is my story. Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is King Monyay, tuning in for another day, man. I am the leader and the captain of my destiny. And, I'm here just to share the good message, spread some words of encouragement. Listen, man, a lot of y'all don't know my story, and I've been waiting to go live and actually tell you guys little bits about me, a little bit more about me. But this video right here is for a man by the name of ZT. I don't know you that much, but you've been supporting the page. You asked a question about addiction, and I know all about addiction, man. And so I'll tell you a little bit about me in this life that I had addicted to methamphetamines. That's right, I said it. It was meth. So I was introduced to meth by a prostitute. At that time, she wasn't a prostitute. She was just my girlfriend. And didn't know what it was. I found it on the ground. Gave it to her. And because I knew that her older sister did it. Her older sister messed around. Well, later on that night, we started using it or whatever. She was using it. I seen her doing it. We used it. We must have stayed up and had the best sex of our lives. Had a good night. We, communicated all night. And we just bonded, right? I was hooked. Fast forward now. Maybe most of these stories you're going to find in my book. I got a book that I'm publishing. It's going to be called The Boyfriend Pimp. That's right, and it sounds crazy because, that's frowned upon. But, man, some of y'all ain't pimping like you think. Some of y'all just really a boyfriend pimp. And so that was my truth, and I'll let the world know it, man, because I stand on truth today. But so some of these stories that I write in the book, I don't really tell on YouTube. But there's a time I remember when I used to date this girl out in Chula, Vista, right? And we had broken up. But I was high off that meth. Matter of fact, I was high off that meth for about 3 years. But time goes so fast when you're off that meth. I had forgot it was 3 years. And in my mind, she wasn't my woman, but she was still, she was she was around. So I was in Chula Vista. I remember like, oh, we'll live around here. I'm going to go over here and see what's up with her. Unaware that 3 years had passed by. Unaware that I had been running these streets for the 3 years, and she done been moved on, and I was out of touch with reality. So I go over to her house, man. I'm just with the intentions of, I'm gonna just say, say what's up with her, see what's up with her, maybe come in and try to hit on something, right? So I go to the door, I bring the doorbell, and sure enough, a swole little black buff man come out. And I say, and right there it clicked in my mind like, oh man, I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? I'm tripping. I'm like, what I say? It said, is Tiffany here? He said, what? Who is you? And I just was like, nah, never mind. My bad, man. My bad, homie. And I walked away because right there I knew I was out of pocket. What am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Ringing on some other man's door looking for his girl. You know what I'm saying? So I realized like I'm tripping. So I leave and I walk down the street. But when I walk down the street, I just stopped at one of my OG partner's house. I stopped at my OG partner's house, you know what I'm saying, smoke a cigarette, and I'm really out of it. My mind is, you know what I'm saying, I'm really dehydrated. I'm really just not thinking too clearly, man, being up for days. And so I'm sitting there chilling with Pops. We call him Pops. And sure enough, I see the buff black dude walking down the street, walking down towards the house. And he walks over and he walks up to the gate. I'm chilling inside the porch. He walks up and he said, "Hey man," he coming, he talking to me. He said, "Hey man, what was you doing at my house?" And I stood up and I said, "Hey man, my bad." You know what I'm saying? I told you that was my bad. But in my mind, I'm thinking like, now, hold up, homie. I already left. I already, you know what I'm saying, turned that down over there and walked away. Now you walking over in my area. Now you coming to my territory. You saying trying to ask me questions about your girl. So he's trying to ask me some questions about, hey man, is y'all how is y'all meet, or is y'all still talking? And what man, I just get up, you know, I get up and I go to the gate, and while he's asking questions, I already know where this is going, and I just fire on him. Boom! Fire on him. I fired on him, and immediately we get to tussling. This man is a strong little brother. Man, he cock strong. We get to wrestling right there, you know. We wrestling. And then all I remember is, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's like a ring around the rosy. I'm running around the car. I'm running around the car. He running around the car. You know what I'm saying? He trying to get me. I'm running around the car like, you know what I'm saying? Just like, you know what I'm saying? Trying to avoid it. And then so, I don't know how we stopped. Oh, what's her name? Walked down the street. She came down there like, Antonio, what are you doing? And all this little stuff. But I already had busted his nose and stuff like that. I fired on him, stole on him. And now, you know what I'm saying, I ain't really squabble up with him like that. But, you know what I'm saying, don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I did that. And so, plus I'm mentally unstable at that time. So I, some reason, I get notified that the police is coming. You know, I don't think Pops caught him. I don't know if she caught him. I don't know, but the police is coming. So I run to the backyard of Pops' house. I run to the backyard and I try to hide in the doggy's, the doggy house. And Pops come back there and say, man, get out of there. What you doing, man? I'm like, and I'm running. I'm like, the police is coming. And I can't remember too clear about who called the police or if the police was coming, but I remember I was panicking. Then I remember running up back to the porch, and I remember seeing some pills on the table, and they were I don't know what type of pills they were, but I just quickly took a few of them and swallowed them. Drank some water, like trying to get my mind back right. And Pops looked at me. He said, "Fool, what are you doing? Did you just swallow those pills?" He said, "Oh, nah, we got to call you. We got to get you to the hospital." I said, "What?" He said, "We got to get you to the hospital, man." He said, "Them is for the dogs." He said, "Them pills is for the dogs." So immediately I go into even a different panic. Like, what the hell? I'm going to turn into a dog. In my mind, I'm like, oh, no, I'm about to turn into a dog. Oh, no. All I remember is the police come, and the ambulance come, and they put me in the ambulance. They put me in the ambulance after I had just gotten a physical altercation with this man. And they take me to the hospital. They take me to the hospital. It's a blur about what happened, but I remember waking up in a mental hospital. And this is the first time really, really understanding what this addiction was doing to me. You know, just how it was making my mind drift. And I remember feeling that when I woke up, not knowing like, hey, how many days have I been asleep? And I tell you that story so first I can identify. I want everybody to know that first and foremost that I identify with the pain of those who's addicted. I identify with waking up, or not even waking up, but just being up all night. The sun coming up and you want to throw the glasses on. It's hurting your eyes, or you just feeling, you know, jittery. You're feeling like you want to do better, but you can't process your thoughts clear, right? Hold on to this channel. Just keep listening, because you're right where you need to be. I want you to know that I've been there, man. I've been worse than the worst. Those who still involved, they may never see this because they don't watch this type of stuff. But those who still involved, if they from around here from the city and stuff, they'll tell you how it used to be. How it used to be. It was uh, real degrading, man. But at that time, that was just the way I life. I was real thug. It was real, that thug life, man. The street life, the sidewalk scene, my life, man. And so, even throughout the addiction, I done failed every rehab in San Diego. Even throughout all the addiction, and I'm talking about, all the pain, the confusion, people looking at you. You're not living up to your potential. Even throughout it all, man, I always desired to want to quit. I wanted to quit, but I didn't have no other ways. The question is this, ZT, the question he asked is, for those who suffering with addiction, I've come to realize that the root cause of my addiction was several things, but one of them is this, and this may help you, is connection. Meaning, sometimes we feel so disconnected from everything else that is positive, or everything else that is productive, everything else that we just feel we can't relate to. We're disconnected, and the only thing we feel connected to have a bond is those who are using. And we isolate. We're isolated to that circle. It feels like we're stuck in that lifestyle. Most of the time, I continue to get high because I was homeless, but the only place I had to go, or I felt I had to go, were places that people were up all night. And those places were people full of addicts, addict behavior, crime, check fraud, gambling, pimping and hoeing, and hitting licks. So, people doing all type of crime, but the lifestyle, that's for one. So most of the time, we hang around these people and we're addicted to these drugs because we get a sense of excitement around the environment. We feel connected with the people, and we don't really have no other type of circle to socialize with. The other thing I realized is that while doing the drugs, and you're not living up to your potential, you're better than that, you was taught better than that, you was raised better than that, and you're supposed to be about something better, right? So that guilt, that shame will make you hide. It'll make you hide. And it'll make you hide deeper and deeper within that circle of those who are hiding with you. Everybody you're around is hiding from something. They're hiding from themselves, they're hiding from their children, they're hiding from their parents, they're hiding from responsibility. And one day it got to the point where that's all you had. You was just surrounded by people who was masking the pain with drugs and drugs and drugs. And yeah, they tell themselves it feels good, and at times it do. It feels better than dealing with the reality of their situation. But the truth is, the more they use, the more you use, the more you are staying stuck in that situation. I'm not telling you something you don't know. Your question is, how do I stop using? I want to stop. And it's simply like this. For me, I could not stop unless I was removed from the situation. You see what I'm saying? You have to be disconnected from that circle, that people you're around. The people you're around, your connections, all those people, even though sometimes they may even be supportive, they even may let you sleep, they even may tell you need to eat something, they may let you shower, they may let you have a sleep, but overall, they are contributing to your addiction. But that's the only connection, that's the only society you have, or that you're aware of. Those are the people you relate to. And so that's where you socialize. You cannot break free of addiction until you become disconnected from the people involved in that lifestyle. And most of the time you cannot become disconnected until you are withdrawn, you are pulled away. And so for me, I had to go to prison. For me, I had to go to jail because that was the only way I can be removed from those people and placed somewhere and forced to look at my ugly self and the actions that I did, and look at the lifestyle that I was living. Look at it really clear through a clear eyes, and don't be faking the funk, and don't, ain't no way to run, ain't no drug to mask this. You got to deal with it. And so we all must take that step. You don't have to be in prison. Sometimes it just has to be isolation. But for me, it had to be that type of isolation. I had to be removed, fully removed, so I can be disconnected, okay, and then get reconnected with God, and then allow him to heal me. And that's me. That's my personal story. So I want to tell you, man, or tell anybody who's dealing with addiction, that your pain is real, your suffering is real, and so is your survival. And the reasons you're doing it, a lot of times you tell yourself, are for survival, or it's just the way you live. Some of us don't even like it no more. We've been stopped liking it. We don't enjoy it. My advice would be to find the strength to disconnect. And I never could. And so everything happens to people. Every event happens for a reason. It happens for you, not to you. So whatever you're going through, it is going to build you and mold you into something great if you don't allow it to kill you. People die in this addiction, man. People die in addiction. So that's my take on it. I've been sober for 5 years. I don't have desires to use drugs. I don't socialize with people who use drugs, or people who, in the sense, not because I'm better than, but because I value my clarity of my mind. I value my sobriety. I value my relationships with my children. And I never mention my children on here, and I never show them because I haven't opened up and let the world in on everything about me. But if you like what you've heard, and you're not subscribed, do me a favor and go ahead and click the subscribe button. And matter of fact, click the bell. Make sure that bell is clicked on all, so that you'll get all the notifications. I'm King Monyay. I get on here and I talk about different topics, but all of them with the same motive, and that is to making a statement, making a stand to advance society, trying to right some of my wrongs. And everybody knows who I am, where I'm from, and now you know what I'm about. I'm making a statement today to advance society, and I hope that helps somebody. I hope, if nothing else, you can just take the time to isolate and really just refocus and recenter your life. It's gonna be hard, man. It's hard trying to break free from them things, but the best thing that ever happened to me was that I was removed from that environment. And for me, it had to be through prison. Hey, you guys have a blessed day. Subscribe and become part of the Monyay tribe. Peace.